Hey everybody, I'm Amanda Call, and I am here with my October Art Challenge After Action Report. So, what was my October Art Challenge? What happened? How'd it go? What I set out to do was every day in October I was going to make a new ink-based illustration, and I was going to not only do the ink-based illustration based off a series of prompts that I set out ahead of time, I was also going to make a corresponding making of video for each one. So for the majority of them that was a time lapse where I filmed myself making the video and then sped it up, put it up online. And for 5 of them, I did my live art streams because I still wanted to maintain my doing a live art stream every week. So I did those for my art stream time rather than having to do those and something else for the art stream. We'll get to that whole thing in a minute. So how did it go? I did it! I actually did it! I actually managed to do it. One new illustration every day, all October long, and videos each day as well. I even got them posted each day. I have my piles of artwork here. I did so many of these things. So many of them. I did so many. So many of these. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. When I went through and started scanning them in and cleaning them up, I was like, oh wow, I forgot I did that one too. Oh wow, I forgot I did that one too. And 31 different new pieces is a lot of work. And I mean, some of them came out really good and I'm really proud of, and some of them are just, they're okay. I did a thing that day and it's fine. It's done. That is in fact the point of the exercise, is just to do as best as I can, but not obsess over making them really great. So that kind of brings us into like, what was the point of this challenge and what did it do for me? Well, there's a lot of reasons why you undertake a challenge like this. It's really helpful to just undertake a new creative challenge to try to learn and grow, do new things, keep your ideas fresh and flowing. I find the prompt lists really super help with that, because having a prompt list, it's not necessarily something you would normally do for yourself or think to do for yourself, but it gives you new ideas that you look at it and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do with that prompt today. I guess I got to come up with something. So it's a good way to stretch your creative muscles. I worked on techniques and materials that I don't work with all that often for some of these pieces. I did several pieces in ink wash, which I still struggle with. I'm still struggling even at the end of this challenge after I did several pieces in ink wash, but I feel marginally more confident. It's more practice anyway, which is always good. I also used things I'd never used before, like the paint markers I used a couple of times. Hadn't really used those before. That was kind of cool. Another practical skill that it really helped me develop was that now I can throw together one of these time-lapse videos like that. So in order to get a video out every day, I really had to come up with a process where I had a standardized workflow. I had my title card ready and my end card ready, and I had the video dropped in there and sped it up and cut things out if I needed to and added the music and just made a complete video in really no time at all, whereas I used to spend a lot of time fiddling around with these sorts of things, and that gave me a way to develop a really good, fast workflow, which will make producing more videos easier for me in the future. The other thing that it helped me to do was to really find extra time in my day to get these kind of things done. Now, alright, I know what you're thinking, and I agree with you. We all need to calm down with this trying to cram productivity into every spare moment that we have in the day. I totally agree. I don't want to work every second of the day and make myself completely nuts, despite what many people who know me may think. But the thing is that we're all kind of in a unique situation right now too, where we don't have the kind of control over our time that we may want. Personally, I am currently schooling my kids at home. That takes up a huge amount of my time, gives me very little time at the end of the day, once they're in bed basically, to actually get any artwork done. And I still have my own projects to work on. I'm still working on Age of Night. I still have freelance obligations that are coming in, and also other projects that I want to work on. And so in order to find that little bit of extra time when I have so little of it that I have control over in the first place, when so much of it is already taken over by caring for my children, being stuck at home, having to do all the regular household stuff, having to do homeschooling, having to do my other side gig, day job type things, you know, you have a lot of demands on your time, and finding those little moments to work on stuff can be really difficult. There was this article that I read, like, I don't know, a few years ago now, that talked about women in particular who are working mothers who have a hard time finding the time to do anything in a day because the demands of their job and the demands of childcare are so pressing. And she talked to a like productivity specialist who was like, oh, I found like 2 hours free in your day for you to do more things. And she's like, what are you talking about? And what this productivity specialist had found was like 5 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And the author of the piece called it time confetti. And that's really an issue that I run into an awful lot. And so like if I have 20 minutes to spare between the kids finishing their schoolwork and me having to start making dinner, it's not like I can work on a comic page in that time. That's barely enough time to warm up. But doing this type of exercise where it was like, all right, I only have like 30 minutes. I have to film a video. All right, where am I going to squeeze that in without having to cannibalize the time that I already use for my studio time? So it was a really useful exercise of like being able to look at my day and find those little moments where like, all right, I can claim this 30 minutes. I can take this 30 minutes back and I can do something with it that'll be creative and productive. And maybe it's not a whole comic page, certainly not enough time to do that, but maybe I can work on some thumbnails. Maybe I can get a few minutes of video editing done. Maybe I can work on just doing, putting down panel borders on a new page. You know, finding some way to take those moments and reclaim them and use them for something good. Another creative thing that I found was really helpful with this was that having the time crunch, only doing these things as quickly as possible in these stolen moments, actually really helped me to open up and not second guess myself and release a lot of inhibitions. So when I came up with an idea, I didn't go, oh no, that idea is not original enough, or that idea is too weird, or whatever else. As any of you have watched this have seen, some of my ideas were kind of weird and disturbing, and I didn't have time to come up with a safer idea, so I just had to roll with it. And as apprehensive as that kind of makes me on a personal level, people are gonna think I'm weird, they're gonna reject me. I actually had a really good response, even to some of the pieces that I thought were too weird or too freaky or whatever, so I mean, that's good, and that encourages me to kind of let go a little bit more and trust my own intuition that I'm going to be able to come up with something good, and I should just roll with it, or at least come up with something that I may as well see through to the end. Even if it's not a good idea, even if it doesn't come out that great, I should still execute it and see where it goes. So I just want to say thank you to everyone who supported me and liked videos and everything else while I was doing this, liked my posts on social media, and just offered their encouragement throughout this really significant challenge that I undertook this past month. Part of my goal was to help grow my channel and produce more content, and if you liked the channel already, you're awesome, thank you. If you haven't, please do so. Make sure that you like the videos and share them with people. That's awesome. As you look around my channel, you can see a lot of my videos are instructional and help to provide information, which is another huge goal of mine, so the more people I can reach, the better, because that helps me to spread that knowledge. Also, all of my art challenge pieces are for sale if you're interested in any of them. I already sold one of them. I have inquiries out on a couple more, so watch my social media for posts about that. So yeah, keep an eye out, because if there were any of the pieces that you really like, send me a message. I will sell them to you if they're not already spoken for, because piles of paper drowning me in my house. Please give these a good home. So yeah, thank you everybody. I appreciate the encouragement, and I'm looking forward to sharing some more stuff with you. So without any further ado, here's a slideshow of all the completed pieces from this year's art challenge. Thanks. Bye. You're not part of this. Please, no, please be quiet.